Court. You would remember how the last time the Supreme Court had dismissed pleas of the Lutyens' lobby. They had made it very clear that they will only hear the petitions of the original litigants, and nearly 32 intervention pleas that had been dismissed. Now the court will continue the hearing in the case, and they have made it very clear that they will hear this as a pure land dispute. And Nalini, our legal correspondent, with us on the phone line. Nalini, take us through the details of what we can expect in the court today, because the court has made it very clear that they will hear it as a pure land dispute. How will this change the course of how the case has been panning out?
Well, absolutely. In fact, the Supreme Court in the last hearing had made it amply clear that none of the intervening applications by any third parties will be allowed in the case. But another very crucial aspect that the Supreme Court had mentioned was that they are also looking at whether or not this is a case which should be referred to a larger section of the Constitution of the court. So, keeping that in mind, the Supreme Court is also going to be hearing arguments whether or not this case should be referred to a five-judge bench or not, because the petitioners are in this favor that it should be heard by a larger bench. So, not only will the Supreme Court today be hearing arguments on the Ayodhya land dispute case as it is, but also on why this case is important enough to actually be referred to a constitution bench and therefore be decided by 5 judges of the Supreme Court.
Right, Nalini, we'll continue to track every single detail coming out of the court today, and thank you for joining us for now. Of course, we'll come back to you as the hearing begins.
Voting for 58 seats in the Rajya Sabha will begin at 9 a.m. today, with vacancies arising in the upper house due to the retirement of MPs. With 10 seats going to polls from Uttar Pradesh, the BJP will look to increase their tally in the house. Prime Minister Modi will chair a crucial meet of the BJP parliamentary party in the capital later today. All union ministers and member of parliaments are expected to be present at a time when several parties have made a pitch for a regional front ahead of the 2019 general elections. The Delhi High Court will pronounce the verdict on a plea challenging the disqualification of 20 AAP MLAs in the Office of Profit case. 8 of the 20 MLAs had moved the High Court on January 23rd, challenging the President's order disqualifying them. The Supreme Court will continue hearing the Ayodhya dispute today after dismissing intervening applications by the Lutyens' lobby. The Apex Court will hear the case as a pure land dispute and will only hear the original litigants in the case. A special CBI court will pronounce the quantum of sentence today for RJD chief Lalu Prasad Yadav in a decade-old fodder scam case. Lalu has so far been handed 13.5 years prison sentence in 3 other cases. The Delhi High Court is expected to pronounce a verdict on the bail plea of Karthi Chidambaram in the INX Media corruption case. The judge had reserved his verdict last week after hearing the arguments of the counsels of Karthi and the CBI. Social activist Anna Hazare is set to launch an indefinite fast to bring out a competent Lokpal and demand fair price for farmers. Ignoring last-minute calls from BJP leaders, Hazare will leave for Rajghat from Maharashtra Southern this morning. And the country will pay homage to Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev and Rajguru on their 87th Martyrdom Day. A program will be held at the Gomti riverfront in Lucknow at 5 p.m. to salute the 3 revolutionary freedom fighters who were hanged in 1931.